Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath show here. This is our race reaction video here. We are going to wrap up round 2 San Francisco here, our immediate reaction thoughts here. And as you guys can see, I'm solo in studio here. We're having a snowstorm, a winter weather storm, whatever you want to call it here in Michigan. So everybody's stuck in their house, didn't have anybody come over watch the race or anything tonight. So just going to give some quick thoughts that I picked up on the race here with watching it, and did not disappoint, shook everything up, and the mud, the great equalizer, really made things happen. Before we get started, I just want to thank our sponsors here, so we'll just run down the list real quick. There's links in the description down below if you want to check any of these sponsors out. So TLR Coatings, Complete Racing Solution, Isaac Nelson Designs, Gutter Works, and Holster Co. all on board with us here. Like I said, make sure to check out links in the description down below if any of those sound like something you could use. So jumping right in here to round 2, San Francisco, and once again we're in NorCal here. Second year in a row we've been in NorCal, and rain has been a problem. Now last year the rain was so bad that it flooded, and we didn't even get to use or go to Oakland there for the second round. It got delayed until later on in the year. This year, obviously, we went, and it was just a complete and utter shit show. Let's face it, going to NorCal this time of year is kind of a terrible idea. We've gotten lucky a lot of years, but now we're starting to see a pattern here. Now we've got a couple of years of rain, so I've been talking to some people in the, or some friends, and I've kind of said, you know, like, if we go back to NorCal next year, like second, third round, and rain is an issue or weather's an issue again, maybe it's time to start looking at not going to NorCal here in the first few rounds. I said it in the live qualifying show, and I'll say it again here in this show, and I'll probably say it again in the main show tomorrow. The first few rounds of Supercross here, I don't need a mudder to entertain me. I need to see the guys racing to really see where they're at. So now we have a weird round 1, which you can't really tell or take a lot away from. And now we have a round 2 that's a complete mud fest. So we don't really know still where any of these guys are. And everything tonight was so up and down. Guys who were really good in heat races were not really good in the mains. Guys that were shit in the heat races were really good in the mains. So we kind of were all over the place. So let's start with the 450 class here. So Sexton picks up a win. That was impressive, as he put in his podium speech. Just dumb luck on the start, and he got an absolutely amazing Michael Lessie style jump off that. I mean, it was incredible. Even before they even said anything, I saw the jump he got, and I went, holy smokes, that's insane there. But he gets an incredible jump there and just goes wire to wire in that race, and that was absolutely amazing. Eli Tomac bounces back, gets a second place. Now, again, it was mud, so who knows? And we haven't really heard a lot about last week. All we kind of heard, they kind of mentioned on the broadcast that apparently he had a fire lit under his ass this week to go out and ride, and looked really, really good at the test track this week. And he looked really good in the mud there. He chased down Chase for a while there, got pretty close, and then a couple mistakes, and boom, he was back. But again, this is mud. Everybody was freaking everywhere. We have found Jett's weakness, and I think the one weakness we found here with Jett is he's not a good muddy Supercross rider. I've already gotten the text. They've already started to roll in about, you're an idiot, how's that 17-0 doing, all of that good stuff. You know, I got to see a couple more races here with regular tracks that are not a mud fest and see how he does. If he gets beat on a regular track, okay, cool, he's good, but maybe not exactly what I thought as far as going for perfect season. If the rest of the races are good condition tracks and he wins everything except for this one weird mud race, you're going to have a hard time convincing me post-season that he couldn't have gone 17-0 had we not had this one weird mud race. I know that's racing. That's part of it. I can't take any of that away. I cannot say anything. The undefeated season's over. But if he wins and goes to, say, 16-1, there's gonna be some loud noises from me about how legitimate the 16-1 was and how close we could have actually, and how we could have actually gone 17-0. But moving on, Kenny had a good bounce back ride too, third tonight. That was a really, really good bounce back ride. He looked really good. And again, we kind of had, as I believe Mathis was putting all week, we had like an incomplete from Kenny in the first round because he did go down in that first straightaway there in the first round at Anaheim there. And then you have his teammate Shane, who is just gets a good start and just runs up front in the mud there. Not really a mud guy, but he just runs up front. And that was an amazing ride for him. I don't think we'll see anything close to that for him moving forward. That's just not where Shane is. But to see him, run up there, that's always great. And that's what these mud races provide, are like guys like that, the opportunity, the great equalizer to really get into a position like that. Now, we saw Prado win his heat race. That was absolutely amazing. And to be honest, when he did that, I went, uh-oh. But then in the main, I believe he spun on the plating on the gate. So I believe he got off the grate okay, but then he spun on the plastic or whatever. It's on the front of the gate. So his start was just shit. He was way behind going into the first corner. Same thing with, who was the other heat race winner there? Oh, Dylan. Now, Dylan did make up time and did move up towards the front. And I don't even have results in front of me, but I believe he was like, I don't know, fifth or sixth, somewhere right up there. Or no, maybe six, seven, something like that. I don't know. Dylan was up there, and he moved forward. So that was really good there. Good ride from Dylan. AP's having the best start to his season he's had, 2 fifth places, so that was really good. He wasn't quite as good as I thought he would be, but that was 2 good rides for him, and he's right in there. And then like Barsha, he's still really sick, and he really struggled, and we saw it tonight. Wasn't good. Ando and Mookie's night was over before it even began. Ando hit a soft spot going down the start straight, and Mookie just plowed right into him. AC had a good start and then just faded. Nothing much really to report on there. Webb rode okay. Jett, like I said, we found Jett's weakness. He was not good all night. He was down several times. He did not get a rhythm going. For as smooth of a rider as he is, he sucks in the mud. He's absolutely terrible in the mud. Let's see. Anything else major 450s? I don't think so. And again, this is just a reaction, so these are literally just quick thoughts. I'm just trying to get something out to bridge the gap between the race finishing tonight and when we come out with our main show on like Tuesday, Wednesday, which I aim for Tuesday. And for anyone who was expecting it Tuesday and it wasn't there, we had computer issues this week, so I apologize for that. That happens with us for time to time. So make sure to comment down below if you guys like these reaction videos, because I'm just trying to get some quick thoughts out here. And I do like it better, as everybody does, when I have other people to kind of bounce the ideas off of. But that's not what we have tonight. So anyway, moving on to the 250 class. Jordan Smith, great night. Got the start, ran away, so that was cool. You had... I really thought Ryder D and Shimoda might actually do something. Like, I thought Shimoda was going to make me eat my words. I had said in the qualifying show that Shimoda's not a good mud rider. He's not going to do shit. And then we get into the heat, and he goes out and just dominates his heat. And I'm like, oh boy, now I'm going to look stupid. And then we get into the main, and like 3/4 in, that bike blows up, locks up, whatever. I don't know what happened there. That was super weird. You don't usually see the factory bikes blow up quite that quick. Ryder D too. I don't know what happened to him. Like, him and Shimoda win the heats and then are like the first 2 riders out. So that was really, really weird. Sorry, I was just making sure the camera was still going. Anyway, but Kitchen is definitely looking like the real deal this year. He had a really good ride. He actually caught Smith. That was super interesting. He just slowly and methodically worked his way through there. Poor Volan, I thought he was going to do really well. Blows his bike up. Let's see here. Who else did we have there in 250s? RJ had a rough night, and I kind of said in the qualifying show, I was like, look out, because RJ's having a rough one here, and didn't get any better in the main. Did not get any better in the main. So now you've got Smith with the red plate going into the next round. We'll have to see. Hopefully next week's dry. But yeah, that 250 class is shaping up. Basically, both classes now, because of this mud race, instead of having people that are starting to run away and take off with it, it kind of closed everything up. I believe like the top 7 in the 450 class are separated by 13 points. And I believe it's like Chase has the red plate back. I believe Jett's 7 down. And then I think you've got maybe like Eli and Kenny are like 10 points back each. And then like the next 3 dudes are all like 13 points back, or 12 and 13 points back. Like, it's really, really tight. And the 250 class is kind of the same way. Like I said, this was really good because it had big points implications and kind of shook the whole, shook both classes up here moving forward, which is really, really good. So comment down below if you guys like mud races. If you don't like mud races, this is a pretty hot topic on a lot of the groups I'm in on Facebook. I was scrolling a lot of Facebook tonight during commercials, and pretty hot topic as to whether we should even have mud supercross races. A lot of core people out there saying, yeah, we should definitely have them. And if you don't like them, well, get out of here. You're Karen, whatever. A lot of people that were, other people, myself included, were kind of supportive of like, man, these mud races really suck. And I'll be honest, a lot of these mud races, they're pretty boring. You're basically just kind of waiting for someone to either tip over and not be able to get their bike started, or their bike to blow up, which is a really weird thing to kind of happen, but there's not usually a ton of racing to it, and the guys are just rolling around. And to be honest, like, so here's my thoughts on this, and this is going to be my controversial thoughts, and I'll bring this up on the main show tomorrow too with the guys when they're here. As far as the mud races go, like in Supercross, to me, it's just kind of, it's interesting when it's much later in the season. When I need something to kind of break up the monotony of the week in, week out. Outdoors, I think they're great because they really are a war of attrition. Supercross like this, I don't know that I'm a big fan. And I know it's part of Moto. And I know like when you race Moto, you race in mud. But again, too, like I race in mud, but like if it was raining like that and I went to a track, I wouldn't race. Now, again, I pay for all my stuff, and I know what that's going to take to clean those bikes, the parts you're going to have to replace to really do it right. And I know there's people out there that are like, dude, just power wash will be fine. Yeah, you can, but dude, realistically, like, you got to get in there to get where all that mud is. It's kind of like riding sand. So to me, it's just kind of And like I said, tonight was interesting, but it was more interesting just because guys were really making mistakes. It's not super interesting racing because the actual racing is good. It's just, no one can stay facing forward. No one can stay upright. But when it comes down to actual nuts and bolts of racing here, mud races just aren't that entertaining. But comment down below your thoughts on that. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate everyone tuning into the live shows here. This has been another race reaction for round 2 of the 2024 Supercross Series from San Francisco. We'll be back next week. Same thing, qualifying show. Live qualifying show for Q2 next week, as well as the reaction show after the San Diego round next week. And don't forget the main show coming out Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern. Make sure to check that out. We're going to film that tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.